I'm Anna Webb. Welcome to A Dog's Life. Hey, Mr. Binks, you know how you don't like to be harassed by bigger dogs when we're out walking. Well, there's another lady called Sarah Jones, the founder of My Anxious Dog, who also agrees with this. And we're catching up again, another year on after the first launch of Dogs in Yellow Day. Sarah Jones, welcome back to A Dog's Life.
Oh, thank you for asking me. It's lovely to talk to you again.
Well, I'm really chuffed because tomorrow marks what I think is it the second year of hashtag Dogs in Yellow?
I know, it's crazy. It's come round really, really quickly.
Well, it has, because we talked about the launch of this last year, and it's such a good idea. Explain a bit more about why yellow and your journey with your own Cocker Spaniel, Bella.
Well, looking back on what happened with Bella, she had a traumatic birth to start with. So I guess that's where her anxieties and everything started from. She got bitten by a litter mate, which obviously then didn't help. And things like that just progressed for her. She, about 8 or 9 months old, she got attacked by a dog when we were doing some flyball training. And this dog came in from the side and took her out full pelts into the ribs. At that point, I didn't realise quite how hurt she was, because you initially look for bite marks and cuts and things like that. But I guess she must have been quite bruised because when people touched her, it must have caused pain, because she started being fearful of people touching her. To the point that it got, because we didn't recognise it, that she would start growling and snapping at people. It turned into a behaviour issue.
Gosh, yeah, gosh, that's so awful about the flyball incident. But, you know, it does highlight how these things that can happen, out of nowhere, literally, can so affect a dog.
Yeah, quite easily, yeah.
And, it's so true. Dogs have emotional intelligence. So just like us, a bad experience like that can magnify in the brain.
Yeah, I think all these little things that happened to Bella, literally from birth up to when she was about a year old, stem to her behaviour issues today.
Yeah, no, definitely. Because part of the problem, I think, with anxious dogs, like, so Bella had the soft tissue damage, probably from, being rammed by another dog at full speed, and pain exacerbate, pain is like a trigger. So, being touched, equals pain in the brain and possibly physically. And even when the physical aspects healed, the memory of a hand coming towards you to be stroked did cause pain. So there's still that association.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Bella, she's easily trained. She doesn't forget anything. And I think when you've got quite an intelligent dog, these things cause even more problems, because she just doesn't seem to forget.
I don't think any dog forgets, Sarah. I mean, the intelligence of all dogs. I'm just sort of out of the back of Crufts and just so dogged up, and just loving dogs more than usual on a Sunday, because Crufts was such a celebration again this year with a great energy. Because you were up there, weren't you, Sarah?
Yes, I went up on the Friday, and it's amazing.
I know there was such a happy energy up there this year, despite, the weather, because didn't it snow on the Thursday? So everyone was thinking, oh no, are people going to get snowed in and not get there? But, I mention it because dogs bring so much joy, and it really felt quite joyful at Crafts, exhausting, but joyful.
Yeah, it was lovely. I wasn't quite sure if I would get there because of the snow on the Thursday night. I went up on the Friday morning, but I left it a little bit later so that I could get through a bit safely.
Yeah. Oh no, amazing. The amazingness of dogs to, live with humans never ceases to amaze me, and of course they have memory and recognition, episodic memory, actually. I mean, that's the thing. But science didn't credit dogs with episodic memory until only 5 years ago, when a team of Danish scientists actually proved it, which was quite landmark. So yeah, I talked a lot about that. And that's why, anything, situations, sounds, music can trigger emotions in dogs, all based on, episodic memory. So what happened to them when they go into a car, or what happens to them when they go to the vet, which is the most common one we all see on
Yeah.
a regular basis. But so yellow, you chose yellow for Bella because, explain it more, but you were so frustrated, I think, of people not being polite, and having dogs run up to Bella, dogs without a recall, causing her to become even more stressed. And then, of course, the whole episodic memory becomes reinforced and becomes more self-perpetuating.
Yeah, well, the problem I had was she was also reactive to people, and she was quite a pretty little dog. She still is a pretty little dog. So it caused a lot of issues to me, because it got to the point where I felt a bit afraid to go out in public. I was anxious myself. And then someone told me about putting a yellow ribbon on a lead. And doing that with Bella just made her look even cuter, and the ribbon was quite small. So it just progressed into researching what the yellow meant, and it's the official warning colour for caution, and everything fell into place and made sense to me. Using it, I just found more confident to go out. Yeah, it was just something that people could visually see about what I wanted for Bella.
Yeah. No, amazing. And it's become quite a social media sensation, because the thing is, having a dog that is nervous or reactive, it does alienate you a little bit in the park. And I think, it affects so many people.
Yes, yeah, yeah, you can have lots of confrontations in the park. Yeah, that's one of it. So, and what I say is, I try to make it a little bit easier by putting the yellow on Bella. Obviously, I wouldn't always walk in a park. You do tend to go to quieter places, but sometimes you may live in an area where that's all you have. So, if you put, your dog in yellow, at least you're helping others to see that they need a space for whatever reason that may be.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it is such a good idea. And it's a reminder as well, that people must train their dogs, must train their dogs to have a recall away from, a dog like Bella, in the event they need to ask them not to hassle her, because I have it with my own dogs. I mean, to a degree, I think the pandemic has, created lots of negatives really for dogs. I think that's actually an understatement. But
Yeah.
one of the things is dogs don't have a recall, and a lot of dogs get agitated when a complete strange dog comes bounding up to them, going, "Hey, hello, good morning, it's Monday," And dogs might say, "Well, actually, who are you? Can you go away? Because I'm having a nice time with my owner." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and they could be recovering from surgery as well. It could be all sorts of reasons, not just through fear. They just may need a little bit of space because something else is going on with them.
Absolutely. It's just I think it's quite, impolite, to be honest, Sarah. I think, you never let your toddler run up to a complete stranger and say, "Hey, let's have a game of run around the park together," would you? I mean,
No.
um and that often puts the whole thing into perspective, really. But no,
And
dogs in yellow, you've got so many great accessories, for dogs that aren't happy wearing a harness, and for those dogs vice versa that don't like collars. You've got a whole range of accessories now. It's gone beyond the ribbon.
yes, so the most important thing for a dog owner is a lead. So that I would say the first thing with a dog that needs space is definitely look at yellow leads, because also not only that, people can see from a distance that your dog is on a lead as well. If you've got a black lead, it can blend into surroundings, but a bright yellow lead, people can see that your dog as a lead. And yeah, we have all sorts of products now, to even to the, the dog walker wearing yellow.
No, gosh, I agree. It's important when you see a dog is on a lead and think, well, that dog's obviously on a lead for a reason. So let's give them a nice wide berth. That's certainly what I think, Sarah.
Yeah, definitely. If you go to some places where it says keep your dog on a lead and you've got a dog running around, you've got this whole area. You just want like 2-3 meters around you, and this dog is running around in a park, just taking over the whole place.
I know, and that's, in a way, it's not how to walk your dog. You should provide the entertainment for your own dog, not rely on other people's dogs to exercise your dog.
Yeah, while
It's
you're on the phone.
yeah. Well, I say, yeah, well, they're on the phone. Exactly. I know. I say, don't even listen to podcasts when you walk your dog. You've got to be in the moment. It's their time out of your day, and for me, that's why you've got a dog. But I think, oh dear, my rationale is getting quite out of date, Sarah, it seems.
Yeah. No, there's still a lot with you.
Oh no, that's good to hear. I think we need to think of a campaign, walk your own dog month or something.
Yeah, I'm sure there is one. I'm sure there's probably something like that.
Yeah, I think so, in January. Walk your dog month. But no, I digress. But how's Bella doing now?
Yeah, she's doing a lot better. Bella's 10 now, so I don't think the issues are going to change. But we work on it a lot all the time still now, and make it a positive experience. But yeah, we're getting there. I'm definitely finding that the awareness around the yellow is definitely growing, and we often have people, quite a lot of the time, I would say most of the time now, would put their dog on a lead if they see us. So she loves being outside, so her confidence has grown again.
Oh, that's such good news. Did Bella go to Crufts with you?
No, no, I would say that's a real no.
Oh gosh, it must be so frustrating, to be not to have her with you. But no, I knew what your answer would be there, and it's such a shame that you must be quite cross in a way. I mean, I'm sure if I were you, Sarah, I'd be more ranty about the fact that other people mentally disturbed your dog, or caused pain, and then pain, is a trigger, and so on. That's such a shame.
Yeah, I wouldn't put her in that situation. It's all right doing the outdoor shows. She comes to some of them, but people's desire to touch your dog is huge. I don't quite understand it, but
No,
yeah.
I know. It is. It's almost like it's like a dog's a magnet, and almost like they're public property to entertain people. I know. I mean, in a different way, I've had the same problem with my Prudence, who you met last August at Edition Dog Live, which was great because you see, she gets terribly excitable. It's more, she does the opposite, but it all stems, you see, from her hypersensitivity, which she's had as a puppy. She was born with it. And people would, gosh, isn't she sweet? What a cute bull terrier. And Prue go, I know, I'm amazing. But literally her energy would go up and up and up and up to the point where you can't get it back down again very easily. So she'd end up terrifying people because she was, doing cartwheels and jumping and barking and spinning excitedly. Yeah, I mean, I still stop people, really, not anymore now. She's actually a lot better, but it was a nightmare. And basically it was other people that trained her to jump, because that all happened one day in a pet shop when I was literally putting my PIN number into the thing. I turned around and she was jumping, and somebody was a complete stranger, never met them, was encouraging her to jump, and because they thought it was funny because she was still a tiny puppy. So it's so annoying. And I know lots of dog trainer colleagues and friends, they're all of the same thing. One trainer who got a puppy, just said one day, it's a nightmare. Why does everyone want to touch my dog? It's a complete nightmare. And I was laughing with him and said, well, look, this is exactly what happened with Prudence. So a lot of bad behaviors can be trained even with, so-called experts on the end of the other lead
Yeah.
because of, I don't know, and this fascination with dogs, or people just assuming your dog is public property, which I find quite rude.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And that's why the yellow's so important. It doesn't matter whatever the reason. If you don't want someone to interact with your dog or another dog to interact with your dog, just if they're wearing yellow, just ignore them.
Exactly, exactly. And get on with your day.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, what have you got planned for tomorrow for the big Dogs in Yellow Day, Sarah?
Well, there's lots going on, but one thing that I did want to do after my last Dogs in Yellow Day last year was to find out about the impact from having a Dogs in Yellow Day. So I created a survey with over 1,000 dog owners, anxious dog owners, that took part in, to see, if we're getting the message over and if people are listening. And the results that came back were just amazing, which makes it even more so important to carry on with our second day and getting the awareness out there.
Oh no, that's brilliant. I love surveys, because they kind of do get a snapshot, don't they, of real experiences. So, what was the percentage of people that, had noted a difference of wearing yellow?
So we asked a few questions, and first one that came back was over a third of owners who took part in our Dogs in Yellow survey have enjoyed being able to visit pubs or friendly dog cafes, and they've even tried training classes again because they feel more confident to do so.
Well, that's really good, isn't it? You must be well chuffed.
Yeah, it was just, it's just amazing. Some of them. Another one was 78% of anxious dog owners who use yellow report their dogs having more space and they enjoy their walks because they feel more confident and calmer.
Yeah, wow.
That's
So
huge.
it is. No, that's really good. Because in a way we've needed this. It's a simple idea in a way, but so effective.
Yes, yes. It does it to me, but I keep saying this is how I feel about it. But when you ask, 1,000 people, in the community of that own anxious and reactive dogs, their thoughts as well, and they come back with the same, it's amazing. I was really chuffed. Makes all the hard work worthwhile.
Yeah, gosh, I can. Oh no, absolutely. Well, yeah, I'm definitely, with my next puppy in the future or rescue, I'll be wearing yellow definitely because, well, I might not, but the dog, I don't
Yeah,
mind yellow though as a color. I
yeah,
think it's great, particularly in summer.
I
But
know.
but yellow on a dog is brilliant all year round anyway. Because I mean, in terms of high vis in the winter, with traffic accidents and the like, and just being visible in the dark, there's that aspect, which is quite a good thing too.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's a visual thing, definitely. It really helps.
No, I love it. So I'm going to definitely use that because, as with Prudence, I wish I'd had that when she was a puppy because, as I say, for slightly different reasons, I wanted to keep people, respectfully away from Prue as well. So we could train a happy, polite 4 feet on the floor meet and greet, which became extremely difficult to do.
Yeah, 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 definitely. Well, I would recommend thoroughly a yellow lead.
Yes, 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 we'll get one. We've got a yellow long line actually, which works because, I have her on a long line still because, well, it's just, the climate we're living in, really, and there's
Mm.
so many dogs now out there, I don't know. Whereas before the pandemic, where I live, we used to wave, I knew the stalwart dog people, and I knew their
Yeah,
dog and then it's all different and you've got confidence in them as being responsible owners as you're kind of milling around the space. But the problem is now there's new dogs around here every single day almost, Sarah. There's been such an explosion.
Yeah, well, I was reading a report the other day, the Paws report, and they said there's over 10 million dogs now in the UK, but 45% of those dog owners are worried when out walking. It didn't specify what they're worried about, but they're worried when out walking their dogs.
Yeah, gosh, really, I haven't read it yet actually for this year. That's so interesting. I so concur.
Mm.
I really worry. I worry about Mr. Binks because he's tiny and quite fragile and he's 11. And, for the wrong dog on the wrong morning, he would make a tasty breakfast. And, it worries me a lot. And, you see a lot of big dogs, which is fine, but you just hope that the owners with these dogs have got the experience and the lifestyle and the accommodation to bring the best out in their dogs.
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, not everybody is as the management skills with their dogs, do they?
No, I know. And I think a lot of people, were led by social media during the pandemic and thought, oh, a Siberian Husky, that's so what I want because I love the Game of Thrones and this is my chance. But a Siberian Husky is a very, very big in inverted commas dog to own because they need a huge amount of exercise. They are difficult to train and they're very independently built, to be a survival dog in the Antarctic and the Arctic. So they're not a sit on your lap type of dog.
No, no. I can imagine that'd be quite difficult if you had a reactive version of one of those. Yeah, I do feel sorry for people when they have these big powerful dogs and just can't control them or can't give them what they need.
Yeah, and don't have the time and the patience, I think, to
Yeah.
invest in the dog. I mean, that's where it all falls over for me. And perhaps I say they've underestimated what bringing a dog into their life is, and I get that thrown back at me saying, "What? They've just missed out on an extra walk, and then something dreadful's happened." But it's way more than that. It's every single day, isn't it, Sarah? You walk your dog, you have fun with your dog, you train tricks through their life, and you want to give them the best duty of care, which for me means going on some adventures, new places, new train journeys, the whole works.
Yeah, and you get this puppy and you think, everything is going to be wonderful. I'm going to be going everywhere with my little puppy on the beaches, in cafes and having a wonderful time. And then something happens and you can't do those things. And that's what's quite sad. That's how I felt. The situation I was in was, you feel you can't walk your dog, and you're too scared to walk your dog. You don't have that perfect life with your dog that you thought you were going to have.
I know, but I always feel everything happens for a reason, Sarah, and dogs are meant to teach us. So I try wherever possible to try and think of situations, even if they're not, how I wanted them to be, but to think of it positively that, right, we've learned from this. And, I'm grateful for this experience, but it is difficult. It is difficult. I'm referring to a big surgery Prudence had in 2020. But, again, it was what it was, and we did what we did.
Yeah, I mean, Bella has taught me so much, understanding, and my perception of when I see a dog now is totally different after having Bella. I used to be one of those people that would see a puppy and want to go and touch it and talk to them about it. Whereas now, whenever I see a dog, I just ignore it now because I know, how bad it can be sometimes with affecting a young puppy.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? Walking around Crufts. This is what really stands out. Is that you walk around Crufts, no dogs are trying to jump up on you. Dogs are respectful of each other, have to be in quite small spaces sometimes with other dogs, but they handle it really well and just walk on. No fuss, no bother. And they're weaving through some of the stalls. They're happy to be left on their own for a little while. All of these things that sadly, the majority of dogs now in the UK can't do any of these things. And it's just called basic training to enable you to navigate life with your dog, and yes, a bad experience could happen to any of those dogs, but it does show as well that, with the right mindset and plenty of repetition and a strong positive wind behind you, these things can be created.
Yes, absolutely. And part of all this training, I think that they should put in manners for the dog owner as well, not only doing your recall work and everything else that you do, but understanding manners with each other, with dog walking, because that doesn't happen a lot of the time, never mind whether you're in yellow or not.
No, it's true. Well, I know. I mean, I don't know about you, but certainly in London, we're seeing a lot of dog poo that's not being picked up. Is that where you are as well, Sarah? Because that's something that I can't believe. I think the world's falling apart, because if you can't pick up your dog's poo, then how on earth are you going to do anything else?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm in Berkshire, so I'm not quite in a city like London, but yeah, we even sell yellow poo bag holders and dispensers.
Oh, really? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Do you do actual poo bags though as well?
They have poo bags in there, but yeah, so you can hang your dog's
Yeah.
poo on the end of your lead if you want to, or on your bag. Yeah.
No,
So
brilliant. Oh, no, brilliant. Oh my gosh. Well, Sarah, I can't wait to catch up with you in real life again. Will you be up at the Edition Dog event in August?
I will, definitely.
Well, if I don't see you before then, definitely we'll see you there, because that's a date in my diary as well, which I'm really looking forward to, because that was such a fun show, wasn't it?
Yes, it was amazing. It was our first indoor event that we done, but yeah, it was really, really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, so here's to this one coming up. And thanks again, Sarah, for doing all this work for Dogs in Yellow. I think it's really brilliant, actually. It's all by, all on your own, inspired by Bella. For me, I just think that's such a good thing.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you. And we'll be in touch again, Sarah. Well done.
Thank you very much.
That's our show, Mr. Binks. What did you think? Yes, it's great to hear how so many people are benefiting from Dogs in Yellow. And you're right, it is time for Woof of the Week. So just remember, if you see a dog with a yellow lead or wearing a yellow jacket, be respectful and give them some space. Well, I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, go on, rate and review the show wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thanks again to Sarah for joining us today, and all the links are in our show notes. Thanks again, of course, to Mike, my producer. Find out more about him at Pod People UK. And for me, I'm just at Anna Webb Dogs. What's that, Mr. Binks? Yes, you're right. We will be in your feed again next Sunday. So why don't you subscribe? That way, you'll never miss another show. Bye for now.